Welcome to That's a Tap CT with DJ here for our reaction of the Haney Lomachenko mega fight. Salute DJ, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, CT. How are you?
Great.
Man,
Ready to talk about this.
oh,
What are your
eh,
thoughts?
look, we rarely, do these on a Sunday straight after the fights. We just leave it to the Mondays and the Tuesdays. But like we had to react, man. Like there was a lot going on. Big fight, um, for the undisputed championship. All the belts on the line, and then obviously we had
Mm-hmm.
Haney and Lomachenko. We saw them box it out across 12 rounds. Man, initial reactions. What did you think?
Wow, what a fight. What a fight. Of course, controversial, unanimous decision to
Yeah,
Devon the Dream Haney and still
yeah,
DJ. We
yeah.
were talking on chat throughout the fight. We sort of know
Yes.
how we were feeling, but I felt
Yeah,
like the fight was close. But
yeah,
when I started to hear, you know, 116, 112,
yeah,
I thought, oh, whoever wins, that's not correct. Like,
yeah, yeah.
what were you thinking?
Yeah, man. Like even before we got to the scorecards, I was saying this. This is a hard. When we were talking, this is gonna be a hard fight for me to sort of judge as it progresses because I'm a massive Lomachenko fan, and I was obviously sort of it could be even biased, but I honestly did think
Yep,
Lomachenko won clearly more rounds than Haney.
yep,
He negated a lot of Haney's strength. He was landing the cleaner shots. There was that 11th round that was absolutely dominant as well. So yeah, like I thought, look, he should have tried to push the pace a bit. I know, like I mean, then the championship rounds they've spent, they're tired, they're gassed, and then
yep,
we're expecting these guys to go for broke, right? Like, but sometimes you don't. You got
yeah,
to think that that 12th round will sit in his mind. Though it did seem Lomachenko was sort of tired in that 12th round anyway because he didn't do much there. I thought Haney got that last round. Yeah, I get it. Like, I guess
yep.
you can't call it a close fight, but I just felt the wrong person won.
Yeah, and not just you, but the boxing world. Before we hit on, what's next, and a possible protest from the Lomachenko camp,
Yep, I've seen
we
that
have
too. Yeah, I was looking up all this. Yeah,
people say quotes things like, this is why people don't watch boxing anymore. Terence Crawford has come out and asked if he was surprised. He says, to be honest, yes. Devon's my guy.
yep,
I was rooting for him, but 116, 112, that's
yep,
crazy. Well,
yep.
yeah.
I
Can you
mean, as
see?
the
Can
fight.
you understand the reaction that's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it was just ridiculous. Because anyone who's watching that fight live, you can say that was not a 116, 112 either way, right?
Yep.
It'll be
Yep.
hard to give that either way, right?
Yeah. Facts.
Um, yeah, like as I was saying, I thought Lomachenko had 7 rounds in the bank out of the 12, but obviously the judges didn't feel that. The other two were like very close. It was just almost a round, right? It was just
Yep.
by a round. So that seemed a lot more accurate and acceptable. But it's funny because again, like I was in that 11th round and I'm thinking, man, like it'll even be shocking if they, call this a draw because I do
Yeah.
think there is a clear winner. But yeah, like it
What
turned out that the other guy won. Yeah,
What are your thoughts in terms of the most dominant round for me, DJ, was round 11,
yeah,
and that was scored by all the judges 10-9. Now,
yeah,
if some of these close rounds were 10-9,
yeah.
can
Wouldn't
do
that
you
be a
agree with a
10-8?
round 11 as 10-9?
Yeah, no, I think it was a lot. Obviously, Lomachenko was a lot more dominant there. However, Haney was returning fire as well. I think at the early part of the round, there were
Yeah,
instances when Haney did touch him up a bit, nothing major. And then obviously, I
yeah.
think three-quarter of the round, Lomachenko sort of, took control, and it was a very dominant round then. Man, I felt like it was, yeah, definitely a dominant round, the most dominant in the whole fight.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just still trying to put all this together and trying to figure out, what happened because obviously,
Mm. Do you
uh,
think
hmm,
do you think the guy with the belts, as we always say, in the fight game, if you're the challenger, the
Hmm.
contender, do you need to convince fully in order to be the and new?
Yeah, I guess boxing is a little bit more deeper than that. I think not just being the champion, but also I think regions play a part too. Who's the
Yep.
sort of the
Yeah.
the dominant promoter? These kind of things all come into play, right? I just feel like, yeah, I felt the only way there wouldn't have been any controversies if there was a knockout from either side. You know what I mean? Then you
Yep.
take the judges out of the equation, right? It was clear. I mean, there was, if you look into the aftermath of the fight, you can see Lomachenko, breaking down. He's obviously distraught, disappointed. When you're at the sort of twilight end of your career and you get this opportunity and you feel
Oh
like
yeah.
you've done everything you can, and given the circumstances back home for him in uh,
Ukraine.
uh, Ukraine, sorry, my bad.
Yep.
Ukraine, and going through all that, and then coming back, and putting a fight camp together, fighting the best, fighting the unified lightweight champion for all the belts, and putting in the performance that you put in, and then being told that
Yeah.
nah, you're not good enough, you came up short. I think that's a big factor, and then you see sort of the crowd still cheering him on, and
Yeah.
kind of acknowledging that they also felt that maybe he won. But you got to mention it was a very pro Lomachenko crowd,
Crowd. Yeah.
um, even though he was not fighting at home. But that speaks to the popularity of the fight and his skill set and the fan base that he has. Like I said, I'm a massive Lomachenko fan as well. Um,
Yep.
but look, that's the fight game, man. You sign up, you try, and you go in and you do your best. Again, look, I know all this. We don't want it to look like it's taking anything away from Devin Haney's win. It was a close fight. Let's not forget, Devin Haney is only 24 years old, right? And he's 30-0, right? Just defeated.
Mm.
Say what you may, just defeated arguably one of the best pound for pound boxers on planet Earth, right? To retain and defend that unified championships. And I think, look, he looks ahead, obviously, towards the next contender. We
Yep.
could have said, like, if Lomachenko had won, we would have definitely seen a rematch.
Yep.
But look, it is what it is. You move on and you see what's next, and you go from there.
Yeah. Now we had obviously the news, the press conference after, and just after the reaction was read, I could honestly feel Lomachenko was kind of stunned. He really,
Yep.
really did feel like he won the fight. I think
Yep.
DJ, and like you said, especially when the 116, 112 was read out.
Yeah. When you
Uh,
hear that, yeah.
yeah, when you hear that. So, and then we hear that, his camp, his coach and everyone speaking after that they plan to protest or appeal.
Yep.
Now, talk us through how, has that been taken place? Has that been successful in the past? Like, what are your thoughts
Yeah.
on an appeal?
Yeah, I think it is something that's occurred in the past as well, but I just don't know how much that's going to impact the decision that was made. You got to have to have something significant to be able to overturn that, right? Because we've
Mm,
seen robberies. I use this word because obviously that's the most
yeah,
commonly used word, right? Like the
yep,
so-called robberies, right? We've seen a lot of them,
yep,
and I don't think there's been any instances where this has been overturned. So, um, yeah, but look, it seems like they were very passionate about wanting to appeal. Not a, well, if you feel you were definitely obviously the evidence is clear that this person won, then maybe by all means pursue it and see what comes out of it. I personally don't think this is going to change anything,
mm,
and I
yeah.
think yeah we will see like sort of the next matchup getting announced.
I don't think it's going to change much either. If anything,
Yeah,
I guess it's just going to draw more attention, more scrutiny on it.
yeah,
As all former boxers, current boxers,
yeah,
personalities, Teddy Atlas, Stephen A. Everyone's put in their 2 cents. This is going to continue, and we'll
yeah,
definitely touch on it again in our weekly roundup when
yeah,
we drop
absolutely.
that. But we had to, talk about this instant react for this such a huge
Yeah,
fight. So DJ,
yeah.
what next now?
Man, I mean, there was another fighter in the ring, obviously as well. So Shakur Stevenson, who was present ringside, who also felt Lomachenko won the
Yeah.
fight. Obviously, was inside the ring, and there was some words exchanged between Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. But man, that's a fight that I will pay, money to watch any day of the week. Right? There's two fights that I'd like to see uh, Devin Haney in, and that's either Devin Haney versus um, Chris Stevenson or Devin Haney versus Javonta Davis, right? Tank. He's coming off of a win. So I mean, looks like lightweight this division especially is
Mm.
setting a great example to the wider world of boxing. By the
Yeah.
best fight in the best, we had Garcia Davis not too long ago. We just had an epic fight between two great technical fighters, and I don't think we stressed on that enough, right? We were just focusing on the instant reaction, and we'll obviously talk about it a lot more on Tuesday. But it was very technical. You could see, what happens when you get two extremely skilled, talented, technical fighters when the best fight the best. It was just beautiful to watch. Sort of the traps being set, the movement, head movement, and all these kind of things. The fight IQ, everything was in full display. So obviously we as fans, we made that prediction that we'll win as fans. So we did. Yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. Obviously, it was a very, very technical fight. It was very beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. And I love the point you made about, yeah, Shakur
hmm,
signed me up. I think, yeah, this
yeah,
division's got a lot more to look forward to, but, can't help but feel on a sour note because I did feel Lomachenko won the fight
yeah,
personally, but I thought it was
yeah,
very, very close. Now, had
yeah,
Haney been announced the winner, but with the scorecards
yeah,
really, really close, I would have been okay, like,
yeah,
fair enough. But
yeah,
yeah, I think Loma finished the fight much stronger.
yes,
Outside of round 12. But
yeah,
yeah, we move forward now, and yeah, I'll really look forward to that Shakura fight. Good to see him there, and
yeah,
of course, he's trying to
yeah,
stir things up.
yeah, absolutely, man. Like, and I think he's extremely talented. We've seen it. We've seen his talent, and Top Rank's head of Top Rank had come out and said that's the fight they want to make. Devin
Right.
Haney and Shakur Stevenson. So let's see. That'll be a great fight too.
Yep. Now, is there anything either fighter could have done different? Like, how did you see
Um,
the back and forth?
Yeah, I think you see Devin Haney, his weapon's always been his jab, right? He's got a pinpoint accurate jab, which is lightning quick, right? We saw in the Cambosis fight, both of those fights, Cambosis couldn't just get inside the jab, right? Haney was really, really good, and he used the jab to control the fight, and then landed more cleaner shots to the body and up top when required. Now he wasn't able to employ that tactic with Lomachenko. It kind of speaks volumes to Lomachenko's experience and being able to adjust and sort of how they prepare for these fights. I saw, at least to my naked eye, I haven't rewatched it, that he was he was slipping a fair few jabs, right, and he was landing cleaner jabs himself, right. Um, Devin Haney, obviously, then I would have liked to see him adjust a lot more quicker. Obviously, there was a lot of body shots employed, which was great, but obviously, he was still sort of trying the same tactic, at least for the first half of that fight. He could have adapted a little bit more, and maybe that could have even made it a more clearer win for him, right? And then on the other side, the only thing I would say for Lomachenko, obviously, a criticism that's always remained with Lomachenko, especially with that Teofimo Lopez fight, was just didn't start fast enough. Lost too many rounds up front to be able to
Yeah.
come gain that back. And I
Yeah.
think he rectified that. He came out of the gates all guns blazing, right? He captured that first round without a doubt. He set the tone for that fight and he kept that pace. I think the only thing I would have said was probably, not pushing for that finish in the 11th round. I think that cost him. Not even if it wasn't a stoppage. At least if he had been able to send into the canvas, and get a 10 count going, that would have played a huge part in the decision being tilted towards him, because that would have been a pivotal moment. But like, and again, watching that fight to the plain eye, I felt Lomachenko was
Yeah.
landing a lot more cleaner. You could see Haney's head snap back a lot as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
look, the one thing I liked about, let me tell you this, the one thing I liked about it is the fact that they always try to get it back. I noticed that it was such an intricate chess game. And say
Yeah,
if Haney lands a jab, you always see Lomachenko lunge forward and get that back. And it's just sort of the everything about the fight. It was really good. It just felt good watching that fight.
yeah, it was such a chess match, man. But
Yeah,
another, yeah, Teddy Atlas has tweeted also, and again, respect to both champions. But again, the 116, 12, 112 was tough to see.
yeah,
Teddy Atlas says so. Yeah, a lot of people saw it much closer. I did, you did. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, great points about round 11. I just felt that was his missed chance.
Hmm.
It sounded like in the commentators were saying Haney's legs were gone.
He was
Um,
gone. Yeah, yeah.
and I just felt the second part of that round, Loma took his sort of foot off the gas a little bit.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah,
maybe a couple body shots did really hurt him. We don't really know, but
yeah.
I
We don't
think
know.
that was his chance, man. And then of course, heartbreakingly, his quotes at the end saying, everyone, everyone there saw what happened. And
Yeah,
then asked by a reporter why he broke down. He said, "Oh, when I started to feel like what my son, the disappointment that he
yeah,
would have, it hit me."
yeah.
So
Yeah, nah, it
tough
was
for the
definitely heartbreaking
35-year-old.
scenes. Yeah, it was extremely tough to see, obviously. Especially, I guess, like it's a lot more bitter when you're so close yet so far. What can you do?
Yeah,
You can't really, you can't change those scores. You
huge
can't
can.
change what happened. You just gotta, yeah, just gotta go with it. Like I think, oh yeah, I was surprised like, with the
Yeah,
unanimous decision, to be honest. But yeah, look, it is what it is. I don't think Lomachenko has anything to be ashamed of. He should hold his head up high, and obviously his family will be extremely proud of not just what he's achieved throughout his storybook career, but just tonight going against a much younger, much sharper, stronger, bigger fighter
yep.
in Devin Haney, and then
Could
obviously arguably winning that fight.
could this set up a possible Kambosos Lomachenko matchup? Do you feel
It
like
could.
those two haven't faced off? What are your thoughts on that particular matchup?
Yeah, it definitely could. Yeah, that could work too. But it really comes down to what Lomachenko wants next. You know what I mean? At this part of his career, like obviously he must be chasing greatness, and that's why he's fighting. He wants to
Yep,
be unified champion again. He just had a shot at that, and obviously came short. Given that fight, and given what's being spoken about widely, you can make an argument to do that rematch, right? Devin Haney could have his argument to say, "Look, you know what? I'll make it obvious and just take all doubt." Lomachenko could be like, "You know what? I mean, I won that fight,
yeah,
so yeah, here we go." So there's definitely, and people will watch, right? Because we've seen
yeah,
how that is, and it definitely favors Devin Haney if they do a rematch.
yep,
But if not the rematch, then will he be able to get what will be the quickest path to that title again? Right? Because I don't think anything outside of going for a title would interest someone like Lomachenko at this stage. And he has the money, he's got the legacy behind
yeah,
him, he's been unified champion previously. Haney made a really good point leading up to the fight, though. He said, "Look, when a reporter asked, do you think he will retire if he loses to you?" And he said, "No, I don't think so, because the 130 pound division, which Lomachenko is originally from, obviously he can be unified champion there again." Right, that was
yep,
his
yeah,
statement. I do agree, but we'll see. We'll see what he decides. But Cambosis Lomachenko could be a really good fight too, and it might even given the former unified champion, win over him could make give him a case to fight for that title, or even I don't know if Cambosis wins that. It's a big win against a big name, but it depends on who holds the title. It'll all
yep.
be, we just have to see how the pieces fall into place.
Yeah, like we talk about with UFC, man, if you both go back to a different opponent, you both pick up a win, then you can then
Yeah,
justify you know, let's say
another
Haney
another fight.
faces
Yeah,
Shakur and
yeah,
Lomachenko beats Kambosos. Okay, then we do it again.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. No,
I'm with you.
absolutely. Yeah,
But
and I
yeah,
think we need to also not take away anything from Devin Haney. He did fight a good fight too. He showed heart, showed championship heart right when he was down in the 11th round, and he was getting battered as well. He just stayed composed, came back and won the next round, right? So and he fought an admirable fight, a very technical fight. He showed his skill set to be fighting a veteran like Lomachenko, who's known for his mastery and skillfulness and tactics. So
Yeah,
I mean, to be able to have the boxing world, um, you know, split like this, and obviously a lot of being having this confusion, I think it kind of shows how good he is and how he's able to compete with the best in the world. So we shouldn't take anything away from his win.
yeah, 100%. He's not the
Yeah,
blame for the decision. It's the judges and how they see it. But yeah, there's going to
yeah,
be a lot more controversy and a lot more opinions on this.
yeah.
And I can't wait to reconvene at the weekly roundup on Tuesday to talk about the latest. We'll recap the UFC card, the big Katie Taylor
Yes.
result also.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this one, stay tuned because there's a lot more wash up for the Devin Haney defeating Lomachenko for the
Yeah.
championship. And DJ, CT, this is one's a wrap.
Catch you later.